So in this video, I'm going to be making something that not only have I never made before, but it's also something that I've never even eaten or tried in any way. At least I don't think I have. And that is Alabama white sauce chicken. So I'm sure a lot of you know what that is, and a lot of you have probably had it, but it's basically a white barbecue sauce that isn't particularly sweet, often eaten with smoked or grilled chicken, made famous by a barbecue restaurant in Alabama. And yeah, it's never really appealed to me that much. So today I'm going to try and make it. So I'm going to start off with a higher welfare chicken from my local supermarket. If I'm buying chicken from the supermarket, it's almost always M&S. And I'm going to spatchcock this chicken. I'll be completely honest, I really don't feel like sanitizing my entire wooden board for the sake of one chicken. So I know this doesn't look particularly good on camera, but this is far easier for me. So the way in which I'm going to cook this chicken today is going to be far better either spatchcocking it or just creating chicken halves. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. So I'm just going to go down the backbone. So I'm going to put that into the fridge for a little bit, forget about it and throw it in the bin. Through the breastbone and then nice and easily through the cartilage. So we've got our whole chicken split into two halves. And the kind of traditional way of using Alabama white sauce is to dunk your cooked chicken into the sauce. So obviously there's a pretty high likelihood of any crisping you get going on the skin will eventually soften up once it's dunked in its entirety into the sauce. So not only is the way I'm going to cook them going to lend itself to a crispier skin, I'm also going to dry brine this. That's going to do a couple of things, make it more flavorful throughout, but also help to dry out the skin a little bit more. And that's exactly why I got it on a wire rack so there can be airflow all the way around. So in terms of seasoning, I'm just going to go pretty simple to start with. If you watch my peach tea pork belly bites from last week, this is that rub, 2 parts pepper, 1 part salt, half a part garlic. So I'm going to go on first off with this. And because it is 2 parts pepper to 1 part salt, I'm going to go pretty heavy because I want to make sure that there's plenty of salt on this. So these are going to go into the fridge for 4 to 6 hours, only because I don't need them for 4 to 6 hours, but these can go into the fridge up to overnight, or if you don't want to dry brine them at all, which I recommend you do, you could just throw them on the pit now. Anyway, into the fridge. So the next thing I'm going to do is make up the Alabama white sauce, and I'm just going to be using the Big Bob Gibsons recipe because apparently they invented it. So we'll start off with some mayonnaise, and this entire recipe will be down below. Some apple cider vinegar, freshly squeezed lemon juice that I forgot to take the pips out of, some apple juice, some black pepper, garlic powder, horseradish, some cayenne pepper, and some salt. So we get this all mixed round. It's a lot runnier than I thought it would be. So it doesn't really taste like what I thought it was going to taste like. I thought it was going to taste more mayonnaise based. Can't really tell that there's any mayonnaise in there. It's pretty acidic, got the apple cider vinegar and the lemon juice in it, but the horseradish is the thing that's coming through the most, and I don't know if that's right or not. And as I say, it's a lot more runny than I thought it would be. But I double checked the recipe and I definitely weighed everything out right. Maybe once I put this into the fridge for a bit, it will set up a little bit more, but it's nice. Chicken's been dry brining in the fridge for a little while. Gonna get the chub box fired up, my favorite way to cook chicken. Left my bag of charcoal out in the rain, so this should be interesting. Twist open those fire starters. Oops. That's looking about good to me. Dry brine chicken halves going on. Shut the chub box down. Cooking it around 275 to 300 Fahrenheit. Come back in about an hour. About an hour into this cook, these are looking good. Skin's looking nice and dry. Let's give them a little flip. Ooh, they smell good. Great color on them. We're going to cook skin side down for the rest of the cook, hopefully get it nice and crispy. So about an hour and a half, maybe an hour and 45 minutes after this cook started, I'm going to call it. Ooh, juicy, very juicy. The skin's about as crispy as it's going to get. It's all looking really good. Coals are starting to die. I don't know what the temperatures are, but I can tell. Squeeze the legs are definitely done. Breasts might be a little bit over, though they feel pretty good. Take them inside and dunk them in that weird sauce. So yeah, those are just looking like some really good direct heat half chickens. And the skin's okay. I would just eat it like that, to be honest. A little bit of vinegar sauce, a little bit of Texas Pete's. But we got to dunk this into our Alabama sauce, which I transferred into a slightly bigger bowl. The bowl I originally mixed it in wouldn't have fit these chickens. And I really did think that it would thicken up, but it hasn't. It's pretty loose texture. Flavor-wise, it's a nice flavor. The horseradish has mellowed out. Anyway, let's dip this in. Yeah, I mean, that looks legit. Kind of looks like what I see online. And you might notice that I've only got one here. That's because I haven't dunked the other one just in case I don't like it that much. And otherwise, that chicken looks really good. So anyway, I'm gonna try the thigh first. One of my favorite parts of the chicken. That's really good. Very, very juicy, direct heat chicken. One of my absolute favorites, and it's covered in a tangy, salty sauce. I mean, there's not a huge amount to dislike. I didn't ever think that it was going to be bad. I was just kind of weirded out by the idea of making a sauce like that from mayo. It's really no different than a garlic mayo that you would have with chicken on a chicken shawarma or anything like that. When it's freshly dipped, it's pretty white, but this has been sat there for a few minutes now, and that creamy sauce is kind of dissipated. But yeah, it's very good. Bright, tangy, that lemon's coming through. The horseradish is still pretty strong. So the thighs, legs and wings were cooked absolutely perfectly, but I didn't get a temp check on this at all. So I want to see how the breast came out. Still surprisingly nice and juicy. That's that direct heat cooking. Always seems to cook well. So overall, that was pretty good. I enjoyed it just about as much as I thought I might enjoy it. Would I make it again? If I did make it again, there would be some changes for sure. I used the Big Bob Gibsons recipe, and I would do two things different from that recipe. The first thing is I'd add a little bit more mayo to thicken it up so it clings to the chicken a little bit better. And secondly, I'd either back off on the amount of horseradish that I use, or I'd buy a different brand of horseradish. But yeah, other than that, it was actually pretty good. I don't think I'd go out my way to make it again, but if I saw it on a menu somewhere that I trusted, I would definitely give it a go just to see how other people's taste. But yeah, it's definitely not weird or offensive at all. After a while, that sauce does kind of dissipate into the chicken and just leaves a really nice, tangy, delicious flavor on the chicken skin and into the meat itself. Works well just like any kind of vinegar-based sauce with chicken. So yeah, I would love to know if you're a fan of Alabama white sauce, whether you live in Alabama and it's something that's kind of common there, whether it's something that you make yourself at home. If you do, please drop me a recipe below. I will definitely check it out and use it to form a new recipe in the future for myself. Anyway, thanks very much for watching this video, and thanks to my channel members for supporting me every single month. In addition to watching, liking, commenting, doing all that stuff, you really do help me out. So as I said, I'm really trying to get to 100,000 subscribers this year. If you are not already subscribed and you think you want to see more of this kind of video and enjoy all the videos that are in my back catalogue on the YouTube channel, then please subscribe. It really does help me out. So thank you very much for watching. Go try out this recipe. I'll see you next week for another video.